Welcome back, friends. Last guy here. It's time for the opening, which will just be the start of this episode. Welcome to the vlog. We're doing merch again, so I'm going to show you three things. So, I imported a Kirby book. There you go. So, these are children's picture books. That's what this is. So, the hope is to have kids. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, because obviously they're not going to be English letters. These are in Japanese. Let me show you a thing. Man, that's in Japanese. So it's just cool pictures with words on them they won't be able to understand. Not teaching a kid Japanese, like at the start. Or maybe make them multilingual, why not? So a funny thing is that it came with this barcode on it, which I'm pulling out. Barcode here. And this barcode was like this when I got the book. Like just right on Kirby. What the hell? Kirby got Mike Wazowski'd. That's basically it. If we don't know the reference, read a book. Well, not really. Watch a movie by Pixar called Monsters, Inc. Okay, so that was the first of 3 books I bought. Next book I bought, yeah, Kirby, Scarf's just showing up merch. I just said Kirby is showing. Anyway, I bought this. So this is from, I think last year. They came out with a freaking book for all of Kirby's powers. Look at that. You can see, not going to go too far because I don't want to mess with the spine yet, but just all the different powers. They have different artwork for them. And the cool thing is they also have like past artworks, as you can see down there. So that is pretty cool. There's just a lot of information about them. And also just they're numbered in a specific order. And my understanding is this is the order that they've been introduced in the games. My best guess considering what powers I'm looking at here. Because what is power number 1? What would power number 1 be, right? That's gotta be none other than just straight up old Kirby. And then power number 2, what's it gonna be? Sakurai's favorite Kirby power, Beam Kirby. And then it's just all the Kirby's adventure powers in the next pages. And like Crash. Like these are powers that came up in Kirby's Adventure. That was the next Kirby game that featured powers. And the thing was, there were 2 fire abilities. There was Burning, and then there was Fireball. That's why they're separate in here. And so, well, look how cute that is. Little ice coat Kirby. Now, one nice thing is, it doesn't just have all the powers, though. Also, okay, what's the last power? Make your guess. What is the last power? The last power is power number 63, and it is Goku Kirby. There you go. A nice thing is, it's not just Kirby in here. It also has the buddies. It has the helpers in there, which is pretty cool. And not just that. It also has Kirby's forms in other games, like Epic Yarn Kirby. Look at that. You see that dolphin there? And then there's also, get further into the back. Where is it? Also has, Find it. There you go. It's also got his classes from Kirby Clash. And the robots from Robobot. And it also has got all his rides from Air Ride. But here's something that's pretty cool. It's got all the box art from the Japanese games. I mean, the Japanese box art. So that's pretty cool to me. And it's in order. Now the thing, though, is it does not include Kirby's Toy Box. Ain't that something? It also has the release dates on here, too. So you can see all the happy Kirbys instead of the angry Kirbys. The last game on this being Kirby Star Allies. So it does not have Super Kirby Clash, does not have Fighters 2. Turns out they're all from one company called Kadokawa. Kadokawa actually does books for like everybody. So it's all from this company. That's why there's advertisements for other books on the back, like one of the light novels. This is a Kirby Star Allies light novel. Which, at some point, we will cover that in the podcast. Like, the podcast is going to cover everything. And when we do the light novels, I'm just going to basically retell the light novels. That should be very interesting. And there's one more book I bought. The second Where's Waldo Kirby book. So, I want to do a bonus video where we go over the first Where's Waldo book. Because somebody scanned that book, and they're really good scans. Whereas wow, this looks really good. Wow. This looks amazing, by the way. Look at all those Kirby's and everything. And, oh, that's so cute. And those will get covered in the future too, but the thing is, Scarf has to make his own book scanner. Scarf has to make his own book scanner, because what happens is, there are scanners where they'll scan perfectly the pages without destroying the spine. Because that's the thing. I've bought multiple versions of some comics because I'm like, okay, I could always destroy the spine and scan them if we want to cover them ourselves, or even translate them. But I'm like, I don't want to do that with every. I can't just buy 2 of everything, and I also don't want to destroy the spines of everything. We got to find a way to scan them. Turns out, yeah, there is a machine that you use to scan books without destroying the spine. The thing is, they're just worth thousands of dollars. The beginner one, the beginner book scanner, $2,500. Jesus. The intermediate one, $8,500. The one the pros use, $85,000. Holy crap! Book scanning is expensive. So, there's one you can make yourself. You just need a really good camera, you need cardboard, or just good wood, and you can make your own scanner. So that is the route I'm going to have to take in the future. It's still going to be expensive. Just not that expensive. Like, one of the kits was $2,500. I'm hoping to just find a way to make them without having to spend that much money. But you need a good quality camera, good quality just ability to make it all work out. And yeah, I really want to do it. I want to have high quality scans, and we do them ourselves if we can't find anyone else to do them. That's what we're going to do. Also, tonight I'm going to order all 25 used, obviously, all 25 comics from this guy. What is it? This guy. The originals, just all of them. There are sellers who are selling the originals, the entire set, 125 books. 1 to 25, all those books. There are people who are selling the entire set. I'm going to try to buy them, get them here, and then eventually when the scanner happens, I'll scan them all. And with that, everyone will have access to those comics. Not only that, I'm going to try to translate them in the distant future so that everyone can have access to them translated. I'm, of course, going to try to cover them in the podcast, too. So that should be a really great thing. But that plan is for years from now. We're still covering the show, after all. I found that guy's comic series, also one of the other comic series, but the one that I did find was Fang Kirby. The Korokoro one. They had a set, and it's now been sold. So shoot, I wish I jumped on it when I saw it originally. I was like, there's no way I was going to buy these. It'll be fine. Nope, they got bought. My mistake. So now I'm jumping on the other ones before it's too late, because I just got caught. I got surprised. So now I have to just look at eBay every now and then and see if anyone starts selling that set again. We all have our hobbies. Kirby's mine. Everyone spends money on their hobbies. Oh, I gotta tell you real quick. So Scarf does improv, right? Scarf has a friend who's been doing a lot of improv. It doesn't matter how much you spend on a hobby. What matters is that you enjoyed it. And that you enjoyed your spending on all that. Also, that doesn't break your banks, then you're in trouble, right? Like, whatever hobby you got, no matter how expensive it is, as long as you can afford to do it, you're good. If your hobby is, taking drugs, it ain't gonna go well. Anyway, Kirby, I can say I spend maybe this year, I've probably only spent, I'll say $300 on Kirby. By the end of the year, with all the things I'm trying to buy, probably $1,000 on Kirby this year. Wait, think about the hat. Think about some of the other stuffed animals. Or the figures. $1,100. My buddy has spent $6,000 on improv classes and shows and things like that. Damn. Woo! Oh boy. Woo, you spent some money, buddy. But that is his hobby. That is his thing. He loves improv. I like it too. Actually, next week, no stream on the 10th because I'm going to go do some improv with him. We're going to go to a drop-in class. We're going to do some improv. Then we're going to see a show. So that should be fun. I haven't done improv in a while, so I'm rusty. But I'm excited to eventually do it again. At some point, we'll have like less streams a little bit so I can do improv again. And that should be a lot of fun. Just don't know when just yet. Now, Yeah, so on Kirby, just as a collector, I should spend around $1,000 on Kirby, just as a collector. As doing this podcast is going to be a bit more, because this year I want to put in some money on advertising Kirby, because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter how good you are if no one even knows you exist. So let's make people know we exist. The Kirby community is a niche, but we can still grab casuals who aren't even in the community. Like, I'm saying, like, just people who are just fans of Kirby, but they're not on the forums, they're not on Reddit, they're not in any of the groups. They're just a fan. Hopefully this advertising would reach them, and then they'll want to hear the podcast and watch the podcast. That is the hope. Also, just get some more eyeballs and people on it, and maybe they'll be interested. That's the hope. Because, yeah, no one knows we exist, really. I can only do so much grassroots. I try, but it's not that great. Advertising could do better. Same thing, I should probably advertise the channel as well. I just don't have any big thing that we're doing right now with the channel that is worth advertising at the moment. Any topics to talk about? I just talked about Kirby for 12 minutes. Well, merch and all that for 12 minutes. I don't want to go too much longer. But I still want to dive into another why. But before that, some pipeline burst in, I think, the Gulf of Mexico. So the ocean's on fire. That's just great. This last week, people have had their heat waves, and the Northwest got effed pretty hard by the heat, to the point like, what, Seattle or just Washington itself? Bunch of roads cracked open. It was pretty hot down here. Canada had their hottest time ever. It destroyed some towns. Fires are happening in California, of course. It's a devastating time. It's not great. It's not great at all. By the way, we're also dealing with a drought in California, where a lot of the lakes and reservoirs are getting dry. San Diego, not yet. We're still very good. San Diego's still doing very well. That's because we're at the bottom. We're at the end. And we've been diversifying. Let me explain this real quick. So, the big droughts like 20 or so years ago happened, and San Diego pulls water from the north. And it got to a point where there just was no water, and the north went, we got no water. Nothing we can do. We can't give you any water. We got none to give you guys. And San Diego got crunched on that. So San Diego has diversified its sources of water for the last 20 years. That's why we have the Poseidon plant in Carlsbad. That's why we're working on pure water plants. That's why we have all these different measures to fight droughts here in San Diego. And that's why we are better prepared for this drought than before, while the North, who has not had a drought this bad, is not prepared for it. The North is getting effed by this drought a lot harder than the South is. If we stayed reliant on the North, we'd be effed right now. So I'm glad we are not doing that. I'm glad we're not that dumb. Thankfully, sometimes politicians and city planners are proactive. And thankfully, we have those. So, good for San Diego. Oh, by the way, new chair. It also squeaks. So, we got a new chair. We bought a new chair because the old one was obviously ugly. You've seen the old chair. That's from just years of wear and tear. But also because it squeaked too much. This one also squeaks, unfortunately, but maybe not as much. As long as I don't move too much. Still squeaks. Alright, so what was there talk about before I just go over the topic? I don't think there's anything else. So, I think we can mix some negatives with some positives. So last time was, why am I passionate? This time is, why am I scared? The answer to the question is, what am I scared of, I suppose? Why am I scared of this, or why am I scared of that? And what are those things? Truth be told, my greatest fear right, and besides, dying, well, I don't know, when you have suicidal tendencies, it makes you less scared of your own death, I think, in a way. I'm more scared of everyone else dying. I want everyone else to outlive me, in a way. Like, I'm scared of going to the funerals of everyone I know. Because, well, the inevitable is going to happen. Everyone does die. And I am scared of that. This is one of my big fears. I'm absolutely scared of the death of my father. I'm absolutely scared of the death of my sister. I'm scared of the death of Jinx. I'm scared of you guys dying. Like, I don't know if I'll ever find out, of course, because, well, the only one talking to me about you guys is you. I won't know. You'll just disappear one day. And that's a scary, morbid thought. Like think of like a streamer or just a YouTuber where one person comments on all your videos, or they comment at every stream, and then one day they're just not there anymore. You just wonder, are they still alive? Did they just get bored? Did you say something they didn't like? You don't know. Whenever someone disappears from me online, I just hope they just got bored and they moved on and doing something else. I don't want to think maybe they died. But sometimes that thought happens and it scares me. Because depending on where you're coming from, the death is the end or it's not the end, depending where you're coming from. Me, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm not going to see these people ever again, even if death is not the end. Well, maybe you'd see them again, depending on what is the beyond, right? Depending on what the next thing is. Is the next thing a pine box, or is the next thing something else? Another, who knows what? Reincarnation, heaven, hell, just the next step, the end of the simulation, just whatever the hell it could be. But whatever it is, once death happens, you never see them again. You don't know. I am scared of the end, of course. I'm scared of my own death, but I'm not scared of it as much as I'm scared of everyone else's death. So I need everyone else to outlive me. That's basically what I say. I need y'all to not die first. I need to be the first one to get there. Because it really does scare me. It really worries me. It bothers me. Why am I scared of that? Why am I scared of that? Let me tell you some history. Okay, this is going to be a long vlog all of a sudden. When I was 13, I lost my mother. She died. She disappeared. A week before my birthday, she disappeared. No idea where she was. No one knew. We had no idea. We were worried. I think we waited 24 hours before we called it in. I don't remember now. We called it in. Her body was found 2 days later at a park. There's no way her body was at that park the whole time. There's no freaking way. Because these parks get checked all the time so that people aren't sleeping at the park and things like that. So, dead under mysterious circumstances. A week before my birthday. So obviously it was a lot of grieving and all that stuff, and the funeral was around my birthday, and just all this stuff happened. That's one death at 13 years old. By the way, it's the only time I didn't have A's in school. I got C's in school when my mom died. I went right back to A's right after that. It's ridiculous. That's so silly. The next year, grandmother died. And that one's more expected. It's a grandmother. She was not told about my mother. She did not know. The next year, my grandfather died. He died a little after New Year's. My last interaction with him was the night before, where I was helping him plunge a toilet. That's my last memory of being with him. Was it overfilled and I had to help him out because he couldn't do it. That was the night before he died. Died in January of a year, I can't remember the year right now. 13 months later, his wife died. My grandmother died. This is on my father's side. So you can also imagine my father, within 4 years, lost his wife and his parents. My grandmother died. She had a stroke. She was at the park. My sister was with her. They took her to the hospital. I wasn't there. I was doing some errand my grandmother made me do, which I was annoyed, but I did it anyway, because you do what family wants, because that's family. And she stroked, and they had to pull the plug on her. Same thing happened to my grandfather. I've read that part. He stroked, and they had to pull the plug on him. She stroked 13 months later. They had to pull the plug on her. It was a real shame, because she had so much life in her. There was no way she was going to die so soon. There was no freaking way. And then it happened. She died. Like, she remodeled her home. She was looking forward to just having this immaculate house for Lord knows how long. Well, no, Lord knew how long. 13 months later. That's it. But like she like remodeled it. She was just gonna live really nice and comfortably, and she freaking died. A lot of bullshit happened with that house. Uh, it was a very nice house, a very expensive house, and my father actually went bankrupt trying to keep that house trying to keep that house in the family. He could not. And we were very poor for a while because of that. But that's a different story. So she dies. 13 months later, my aunt dies. My favorite freaking aunt. My favorite aunt. She died. She was like a freaking angel on earth. She was the nicest woman I ever met in my life. The nicest person I ever met. Diabetes took her. We got to watch her slowly fade away over the years. It's very unfortunate. That's one of the things that also scares me, is just getting old and just slowly fading away kind of thing. Like your body just, you become bones at some point and then you're gone. I got to watch that because I visited her. So in 5 years, 5 people died. 5 people who were close to me one way or another, dead. Mother, grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, aunt. From 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So the majority of my teens, somebody was dying or dead. No, not dying, but somebody would just died. Had to go to another funeral, had to go to another funeral, had to go to another funeral. And I believe, I think I can believe that did have some psychological effect on me. This is exploring the why. Why am I scared of others dying? Because I've seen it happen multiple times. And yeah, after my aunt died, everyone was freaked out. Everybody was really scared of April. January, February, March. 13 months, 13 months, 13 months, and now we're on April, 13 months later. Everyone was on eggshells. Everyone was scared. Everyone thought, maybe it's one of us. One of us is going to die. Didn't happen. But we were all paranoid. We felt like there was a trend, like there was something going on. My family is religious. My family is superstitious. I was very weirded out. We're very worried that somebody was going to die. I remember that psychological fear. So I think that does explain a bit of why I'm so scared of losing other people, because I've seen it so many times already. Why am I exploring the self? Let's go back to why I've been doing this in the first place. I'm exploring myself to try to understand who I am so I can understand where I can go, and to maybe get over some bullshit with me so I can keep going. And also just so I'm doing it to show you that you can explore yourself and maybe find answers for yourself and go forward. This is the hope of it being helpful. There's another fear which I wanted to go over more, but apparently I really went over death a lot. And that is the fear of just the dating scene. Why am I so scared? So I have all these dating apps, and I'm using them. But I just feel this dread at the same time, and this fear, and whenever I do get a match, I just assume it's a bot, or I just assume it's just not real. Because actually some of the times it has been a bot, or it's been a scammer. It's very unfortunate. It's very frustrating. I'll say like 90% of conversations I've had on dating apps have been with scammers or bots. It's very frustrating. The other one is I'm just scared of heartbreak. I'm scared of causing it, and I'm scared of receiving it. Because I've had and done both. And the last one really messed me up. It has been 5 years since my last relationship. And all that time, well, 3 of those years just not even trying. Not even freaking trying. Not even worrying about, not even thinking about it. Just, it was a very tough time. That relationship messed me up pretty bad. Because it was a 5-year relationship. I thought I was going to marry them. But there was some chaos in there. Some things I'm guilty of, some things they're guilty of. It's unfortunate how it all fell apart. And there was a lot of turmoil and a lot of heartbreak, and I'm so scared of that again. All right. So before the pandemic, I wanted to try. I wanted to try again. I was doing improv, just getting more into shape, taking pictures. It's time to try to get into dating again. And then the pandemic freaking happened. Like, all right, well, we're not doing anything for a while, for a year plus, and here we are now. Vaccine over, trying again, but I just feel so much fear. And I keep making excuses and not doing the steps I need to make to do better on the dating apps. Yeah, I need to do better in that. Why am I not doing better in that? Why am I so scared? What is the alternative? The alternative is just dying alone. So I should be trying to not be single anymore. But why aren't I? Why am I not trying harder? Am I just lazy now? Or am I just still scared? And for sure I'm scared, but maybe I'm lazy. I don't know. I'm definitely scared though. I'm scared of rejection. I'm scared of it not working out. And the thing is, there must always be risk to things that are worth gaining. There's always going to be risk. Because what I should be doing right now with the dating apps is, I should be rewriting my profiles. I should be taking new pictures because my hair ain't the same anymore as they were back then. And I should be like flexing and stuff like that. Just taking good pictures. Taking good scenery shots with, like me within good scenery. Just me just looking strong. Like there should be like a gym picture for sure. I think there should be a picture of me with Kirby. Just like, oh, this guy likes pink things. This guy likes cute things. But that's not going to be the first image. I'm keeping the storm picture because that's such a good picture. And I'll probably keep all the Comic-Con pictures that's older. That's like from 4 years ago, just because it's a good picture. Good picture, yo. But I need to shave better. Like, you can't see it too well, but like there's some stuff here, stuff there. Make this look a little better. Make this look a little better. Because the picture's going to be way closer. You're not as close as what a selfie will be for a dating profile. This can be cleaned up. His hair can be a little bit nicer looking. All that stuff. I just haven't done it. I just haven't freaking done it. One thing I really want to do, by the way, it might be allowed. I don't know. I actually don't know. I want to get into amazing shape so I can do that one picture. So there's a picture where it's like naked David Hasselhoff with like a teddy bear in front of his crotch. Just do that. And then it's just a Kirby right there. I think it'd be hilarious. Like this really in shape dude and just a Kirby covering that one spot. I think it'd be hilarious. Squeeger. I think it'd be absolutely hilarious. At least I'd laugh. It's like, please clap. Please clap. It's hilarious. Okay. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But what am I also scared of? I'm scared of ridicule. I'm scared of embarrassment because Scarf does not live alone. Times have been tough. My sister doesn't have a job. My father's retired. Housing in California is expensive as balls. So we all live together. I've been paying the rent every freaking month. It's not that I live with my family. My family lives with me. I pay the freaking rent every month. It ain't cheap either. My dad needs to use his money for like insurance and like for health insurance and all these other things, all these other bills. My sister needs to use what money she has, she's unemployed, to take care of her issues as well. So I'm paying the rent. And rent ain't cheap. But there's this stigma of living at home. But the thing is, I am paying the goddamn bills. I'm not freeloading here. I'm paying the damn bills here. But are they going to see it that way? Our prospective date's going to see it that way? And say it works out. Like, these are the things that I'm too scared to bring up with family is just... And also, maybe I just don't have the right view of the world. Maybe it is fine. I live with my family. I'm trying to get a girlfriend. trying to get a wife eventually? Would they be comfortable or even see me as a person while living with my family? There are so many judgy people who see someone who lives at home as pathetic, as nothing, as a loser. And I, of course, am not happy with that. Because that's not how I see myself. And it angers me. Because California ain't cheap. If me, my father, and my sister, we all live separately, we would be effed in different ways. Well, okay, at this point in my life, I would not be effed. My father and my sister would be. So I'm taking care of them. A couple of years ago, I'd be the one that's effed. And that's how it was before. Before it was my father was working, my sister was working, and I was the one who was unemployed and looking for work and was living at home. Now I'm the one with the good damn job and I'm the one paying all the freaking bills. But it still looks like I live at home. And I'm scared of being rejected for that. I'm scared of being rejected for the situation I'm in. For being in a spot where there's no other way. Because if I am not here paying these bills with my family, they would be in such a rougher spot. Like, I did numbers. I could live on my own now. But it would just be worse for our family. And remember, this of course informs other things. Remember, I lost my mother when I was 13. I lost a grandmother at 14. Grandfather at 15. My father's father at 15. My father's mother at 16. He lost his wife when I was 13. He lost a sister-in-law. I lost an aunt at 17. Family's important. Taking care of family is important. Who else does my father have but me and my sister? So why am I scared of dating? I am scared of dating because I am scared of heartbreak. I am scared of rejection. I am scared of ridicule. I am scared of just wasting mine and their time. Because I am getting older, and I don't feel like I have that much time left. I don't have that much time for a lot of things. But I don't have much time to say... that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound good what I'm trying to say right here. Because we are not meant to be on this planet necessarily to be baby makers. But I would like it if my father had grandchildren. You know, like... But that is something you can't just put time on because you need to be dating, you need to do all this stuff before you're making kids. That is still years away. That ain't gonna happen now. And putting pressure on that time is just gonna cause stress for everybody. Then I'm just scared of everyone dying and having to go to everyone's funerals. Because I've dealt with so many already. I think that's everything to cover as far as why am I scared currently. Those are the fears. Those are the deep-rooted fears. There's always, the fear of just random stuff, like fear of heights. What can you really what can you really explore with that? It's like, oh, hey, if I were to fall off, I'd go splat. Yeah, that's a good, valid reason to have that fear. Fear of drowning. Oh, hey, if I fall into this water and I F up, I drown horribly. There are certain fears where, I don't think you need to go that deep on them. Fear of the dark is the fear of the unknown. That's enough exploring for one day. So that is the vlog. There should be a vlog next week. We'll see. Work schedule changes, but I should be able to still record a vlog. And yeah. That's it. We went hella long. Holy crap, wow. That's it. That is the vlog. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. Squeaky chair? Squeaky chair? Oh, now it's not squeaking. Alright, whatever.